It's 11:11. Well, here where I'm at. Sorry I couldn't come live yesterday, guys. I had a lot going on. I had to help my grandma at her house, and it just took all day. But anyways, I wanted to finish the other side of the story. 2 days ago, we did a reading. It was a third-party karmic reading. And we kind of got the karmic's take on everything, how the karmic was thinking, how the karmic was feeling, and, you know, what the karmic was going through. So today, we're going to see the other side of the story. Hi, BB222, or two, I can't talk today. Hi, BB, I'm just going to say that. Hi, Moon Angel and Linglicious. Good morning, my beautiful subs. And hi, Lahana Stewart, Teresa, Museum, and Priscilla. So let's go ahead and see the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. Let's see what the Divines are thinking. All right. If you want to recap on the third-party karmic reading that is part of this, you can just go back to my channel here on YouTube, go to Lives. Once you click on Lives, then you're going to be able to see the whole list of all my videos, and you'll find it in there at the top. Good morning. Hello, hello, Jay. All right, so let's see what's going on with the Divine Feminine. What are your thoughts? Okay, and what about the Divine Masculine's thoughts? Okay, and what are you feeling? And what is your Divine Masculine feeling? Oops, no peeking. Okay. And what is the scenario right now, currently? Okay, bottom of the deck with both of you, we have the Emperor. Yay! I like that because that's about prosperity and abundance. It's about wealth. It's about feeling like everything's in order, everything's working out, things are in control, things are aligning. It does speak about power. It does also speak about intense, how do I say this without drama on YouTube? Strong inclination to intimate behavior and power and respect, if I didn't already say that. This is also minding your boundaries really well, like really minding your boundaries, both of you. Overall, underall, both of you are respecting your own personal boundaries. Maybe not one another, but your own personal. And, you know, this is, you don't have to love me, but you will respect me. Under that, my love for you is deeper than the ocean. You guys might be going to the ocean, thinking about the ocean, seeing a lot of ocean videos, doing a room that's ocean themed, or I don't know, but like the ocean may be something that's kind of in your energy lately, just as a sign and a synchronicity. This is a solid connection. And, you know, they love you very much and you love them very much. There's a lot of strong love here. Both of you are really wanting to follow your heart, wherever that may lead you, in faith. And then you have rebirth. So I do think there's going to be a rekindling in your connection. All right, let's see what's on your mind. I love you. Okay, you love this person. It doesn't have to be mushy-gushy, ooey-gooey. It just has to be love. And when you think about this person, you think, I do love them. I do love them. You don't have any doubts right now. You just have faith and belief that this is your person. And you're good with that because you're feeling very good about it. What is your person thinking? I'm just not ready for what you have to offer. Okay, so we have a runner. I'm not saying you're a chaser, but we do have a runner. The masculine is just not prepared to get into this connection with you. How do you feel about that, you know? You're ready to break free of this connection. You're going to break free from the chains of the relationship. You want to break free from obsessing or overthinking about this person. And you just want to break free of any kind of tie or cycle or ropes that you have entwined with this man or woman. And it's not for a lack of love. It's just you don't want to be a part of this I'm not ready game, okay? How are they feeling? Judgment. They have a lot coming down on them right now. And to be honest, that really explains why they're not ready. I don't know if you're aware, but karma is really giving them a difficult time. They're being judged. They're dealing with karmas, things they have to be responsible for, pay for, face up to. So they have a lot of responsibility, but they may also be dealing with court. They may also be dealing with legalities, paperwork. There's just a lot of real sensitive, tender situations that are being dealt with. And so with judgment, it's like I do have a plan and I do want a second chance with you, but I'm not ready. So how do you feel about this? Illumination. You've just woken up to the fact that you're not going to wait. I think that's what this all is. You're just not going to wait. You love them, but you see the truth and you see that they're not ready, and it's not satisfactory for you. And again, like the beginning of the reading, we said, respecting your own personal boundaries. And I think that's like the strongest message for you. With them, see, the time isn't right for me to reach out. Now just take a look at this. I'm not ready, and the time isn't right. The timing is just off. And that's just the judgment that you guys, I think you're not bad with that. You're not like, oh, that's terrible. I'm mad. I'm angry. I don't think you're mad or angry because you have I love you. You're just like, go ahead, do what you need to do, honey. Go ahead and do whatever it is that you need to go do. I love you. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen with us. But I cannot wait for what? Because, the Sun card is the illumination number 19, Major Arcana. And that's usually a little boy, which represents a new beginning. Breaking out of oppression. Leaving an enclosed, captive situation behind a brick wall, which was an obstacle at one time and a problem. And he's on a white horse, which represents spirit carrying him out of the situation. And he's jumping over the brick wall, happy and free, out into the freedom. And then here you have breaking free. So really for you as a feminine, I just see you as like, this is the wall. This is the obstacle. Your person's not ready. Your person's got karmas to deal with. It's not the right time. And I think you've been hearing this kind of situation over and over. So that's why you're like, that's okay. I love you. Do what you need to do. I'm not upset with you. Okay. I will say this. Your person feels like you're very judgy on him because he feels like you're calling out judgments really quick without understanding the whole situation. My opinion is, can he really blame you or she? Because look what you've been enduring. And they're not giving you a lot of information. They're not giving you details. They're not giving you timing. They're not giving you information. So, of course, you need to make judgments based on what you see. And what you feel is, hey, listen, buddy or girl, you need to get out of your situation. You need to make the judgment call. You need to make the decision already. You need to go out of that third-party karmic situation. It's your bad that you're not trying to break free. Wake up, Judgment and Sun card. Like, illuminate yourself. You're making poor choices and you're being ridiculous, and you need to man up or woman up on something, grow up on something. You just need to grow up and make better choices. And so are you making some judgments? Probably. And again, guys, this video is a sequel into that reading I did 2 days ago, which was third-party karmic. So in case you're wondering, you know, what is all this information about everything, you can go ahead and watch that video. You have no idea. I'm sorry. Mercury's just fun lately. You have no idea how badly I want to taste you. I can't let go. Grasping. I miss your warmth, cold shoulder. It feels like I'm slowly losing you, fading. Okay. Bottom of the deck, despair. You know, your take on this man or this woman is, listen, I want you, and I've wanted you so long, so bad. For some reason, no matter how much I want to just get away from this connection, I can't let you go. I try and I try and I try and I can't. There's that situation. You miss this person terribly. You miss the way it was. You miss the way it used to be. Very Six of Cups. You have a lot of nostalgia. You really miss the beautiful connection that you guys really had. But it feels like year after year, month after month, week after week, day after day, hour after hour, you're slowly losing this person. And you're just like, I need to come to terms with that. And I'm trying to release. I'm trying to break free. I'm trying to illuminate myself with the sun and just let this go in love. But you're drowning here in despair much of the time. Just drowning. Because, again, you definitely try to make an effort to respect your boundaries and theirs and let it go and move on, but it's very, 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 very difficult. Leo is going to be a very prominent zodiac sign for you guys, maybe both of you. So is Cancerian, so there could be some cusping energy there. Very protective, very possessive energies. Obsessive even. Okay, so let's see. Let's get a mention of some of the words that have come across your mind. Blocked. Some of the words that you've expressed or feel is you feel blocked. You feel like there's a big wall, a brick wall between the both of you. You feel restricted, like they're restricting you. You feel that they're blocking communication to you. And you definitely feel the emotional walls that they've created up. And all you want to do is leave this behind you. You know, it's like, I just want to leave him or her behind. You are trying to seek out support in friends and family. And look, third party, there's other people involved, you know? All right. Let's get some more vibes for your person, because you're just you're very shafted. and you're okay with letting go. But what's going on a little bit deeper into your DM, because you remember, you guys got to you guys got to watch the third-party karmic video I did. Things are not going well in Karmicville. They're not cupcakes and rainbows. There's a lot of judgment going on in Karmicville. Your person has a lot of arguments, secrets. There's a lot going on. Again, you're going to have to watch the video, but it's not like you're being shafted and blocked so this person can go off and be joyful and happy and feeling good with the karmic third party. There's a lot going on over there. I definitely feel a sense of migraines or extreme stress and pressure in the front of the face. Okay, so let's see what's going on with this person. What is some expressions from this person? Spirit, please guide me with the cards. Pleasure. Nothing comes close to how deep you please me. Exploring every inch of you, studying. I'm sorry for turning my back on you the times you needed me most. Under pressure, sinking into the depths of sadness. Your person is learning a lot. To be honest, your person escapes their problems by being with you intimately or thinking about you intimately. That's how they escape their reality, by diving into fantasy. This person absolutely realizes that they are blocking you. They've turned their back on you and they've betrayed you. With judgment and pressure, I want to say karma is slamming the gavel very firm, very hard on them at the betrayal, because there was a lot of betrayal. And they're really suffering in karma about their betrayals. And I think they're learning more and more about that. They're learning more about their body, their mind, and their soul. Bottom of the deck, you are so tempting, my temptress. So they're seeing you as the temptress. They're not, I don't think they see you correctly. Again, we're back at this. I know, we're back to this. We're right back here again. My mind is torturing me with reminders of you everywhere I go. And again, I'm worried about my legacy, my status, my reputation. And I just, I'm seeing that scene from Notebook. Here I go again. And I've said this a million times in some of these stories, but it's so true in the movie The Notebook, where Noah is yelling at Allie. And she shows up out of her third-party situation. She's the one who, oh my God, this is so your story. She goes after Noah. Noah tried and tried and tried to reach her, but the mom blocked her. So her messages or his messages and everything didn't get put out. So she never knew that Noah was writing her every day for a year when he was off at war. And he comes back home excited to see her, to find out she's engaged with a handsome, rich young man. And he's just crushed. You know, and he doesn't just give up and walk away like, oh, well, I'll go find somebody else. He was miserable for a while. And he decided to go build the house of her dreams, even though he knew she would never see it. He thought. And he, through years, found somebody else to comfort him. Not true love, but it was a nice comforting love, and it was sweet, and it was comforting, and it was a friendship with pleasure that, you know, gave him some peace. Was it ultimate peace? Was it healing peace? Was it a new love? No, it was none of those things. He never fell deeply in love with the person he found comfort with. But Allie, on the other hand, which is your DM, oh, she found peace. She did. She thought Noah abandoned her. She thought Noah didn't care, left, abandoned. So under that impression, she figured she had to move on. She had to, otherwise she'll just be miserable too, even though she loved Noah deeply. She did her work. She was focused on the war as well, being a nurse and doing what she knew how to do. And she was pursued by a handsome, rich young soldier. Gosh, wish we could go back to those days. Anyways, this is just a retelling, a recapping of the story for those of you that haven't ever seen The Notebook. Because believe it or not, guys, there's a lot of people that have not seen the movie The Notebook. There's a lot of people that watch from other countries that haven't seen the movie The Notebook. So please allow me to recap the story with my rendition of it, okay? So anyways, she is pursued by this handsome young man, and he falls in love with her truly, madly, deeply. Like, he really did love her, and she grew to love him, and he was perfect and he was wonderful, and her parents loved him. Her parents did not like Noah because he was poor, but they loved this man because he was rich and good looking, and I mean, they knew that that was the best for their daughter, that their daughter was smart, beautiful, and kind. And when you're smart, beautiful, and kind, you deserve the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And that's what that man was, the cream of the crop. So the parents were thrilled, and she was thrilled. And he was really, truly in love with her. It wasn't just her body or her beauty. He really loved her personality, and he really loved her family. It was a good match. It was a really good match. But you cannot erase the fact that she loved Noah more than anything. It's an unexplainable love, and it was a very different love, where the love that she was feeling with the young new man was fast and furious and passionate and fiery, and oh, it had excitement, and it was fun, and it was charming, and it was just wow. You know, you can't not look at the light of the fire. There was a fire and a passion with this new love, but there was something slow and beautiful and heavy and deep, like water, with her love with Noah. It was literally fire and water. How do you choose? They're both beautiful. It was very difficult for her. But anyways, you know, back to this part where I was summarizing the story. Here she comes, pursuing Noah. She sees his picture in the paper and realizes he's out there on their prime land building the house of her dreams, a big white house with blue shutters and a wraparound porch and a place where she can paint, just like she always said she wanted from him. That's all she wanted. And there he is building it in the paper, and she's like, oh my God, not only is Noah back in town, he is building our lives. Well, she's about to get married that next upcoming week or so. She was trying on a wedding dress with her friends and family, having a good time until she saw the paper. Now she's completely down on her knees crying in the bath, and just, what do I do? I want to go see Noah, but I'm about to be married and I'm in love with this man. What do I do? So she sat there contemplating. Finally, her heart, hello, following your heart. Finally, when your mind can't make up your decisions, when your brain can't make you go left or right because for whatever reason, your brain just can't get it together. It's too torn. Your heart speaks up. Your heart makes up your mind. The heart says, let's go. Because there's no way she could decide what to do. No way. So her little butt pursues Noah. She gets in her car, drives like an hour out of town or 2 hours, tells her fiance she's going to go visit a friend or family, whatever. She'll be back in town later. And she pulls up and pulls up on Noah. And he's just like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell to the no, no, no. What are you doing here? What in the heck? Because he saw her in town. He saw her in town having lunch with that guy. He knew she was taken. That's why he didn't go up to her. He didn't go up to her. He didn't want to stir up what she had going on. He let her be. Hello, boundaries with the emperor. He let her be. Respectful man. He's like, I'm not going to go in there and mess up what she's got going on. I've been gone. It's not right for me just to come back and disrupt her life. But here she comes like, oh, hell no, I'm going to disrupt your life. Oh, yes, I'm going to disrupt your life completely. But you know, it's the heart, it's fate, it's whatever. So she shows up in her car and he's just like, oh my God, I cannot believe it's you. And she's like, when were you going to tell me you were back in town? You know, he was mostly speechless, but here she is showing up and pursuing him, teasing him, throwing herself at him without having to do that literally. She shows up, they hang out, they have lunch, they talk, they catch up. She missed him. She just wanted to jump all over him, but she couldn't because it'd been years. And she's engaged. She had no business being there, guys. Allie had zero business being there. You know it. I know it. Allie had no business being there. But she was there because that's what the heart does. And she was engaged. I mean, how wrong is that? If you look at it from another perspective, you're like, God, that is so wrong of you. You were in love. You were engaged. You had no business going out there to go see your ex. None. But the heart wants what the heart wants, man. That's what I'm saying about this connection with you guys. And it's just very similar, eerily similar to the movie The Notebook. I don't know if you're going to have as much of a happy ending as the movie The Notebook, but I know that your story of love is very similar to the movie The Notebook. Perhaps you guys fight all the time, just like Noah and Allie. They fought a lot of the time. They got on each other's nerves. They had separations. They had love. They had passion. They had it all. It was as deep as the ocean. And I'm telling you, the love she had with the new person was fire. But the love she had with Noah was deep. You can't, anyways. And it always brings me back to that movie scene where they spend the weekend together, guys. She goes there. It starts raining. They're on a boat. It's romantic. There's swans and white ducks everywhere. And everything's coming together because that's fate, this divine meeting. Again, creating the perfect ambiance. And just as the rain starts pouring down and they're paddling their boat back to go to the house, it describes their emotions. And the rain coming down, pouring, just represents all the tears, all the sadness, all the heartache they felt when they separated, all the pain and suffering and grief that they went through. And now it represented all the emotions just pouring out of their heart at that moment about, I still love you. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I still love you after all this time, after all the separation. And so she gets mad at him and she's, fighting again. And she's like, why didn't you write me? Why didn't you reach out to me? She brings up the past. And he's like, what? I did write you. I wrote you every day for a year. I never got a response from you. And she's like, what? You're lying. I never got a single letter. And he's like, I wrote you. And then he's like, well, screw all that. We're not going to hash over the details. Listen, I was crazy about you. I was totally in love with you. And she says, I was crazy about you. I was completely in love with you. And he's like, I still love you. And he's like, it wasn't over. It wasn't over when I left. And she tells him, it wasn't over when you left me. And he's like, it wasn't over. And you know what? It's still not over. And he goes up to her and picks her up and kisses her. And well, let's just say they had a lot of passion. And so they spend the weekend together, and he's just charming as could be. He's just the sweet, romantic, perfect spouse that you could ever want, period. And she's just like, wow, this is life. This is what my life could be. It could be this peaceful, deep love. You get me on a whole deep level. My new fiance gets me at the girl I want to be, the woman I could be, my potential, gets the fun side of me, gets the funny side of me, gets the sexy part of me, gets my family. God, my new fiance really gets me at a fun, great level, but my new fiance doesn't know me deeply. My new fiance doesn't know my soul. As much as I love him and as beautiful as he is and as wonderful as he is, it's a very surface level of love. And I know I could be happy with him. It would be fun. It would be passionate. It would be rich. It would be an experience, and we would have great kids and a great house and a great reputation and great friends. But that man will never know me like you know me right now. My anger, my creativity that hasn't even been awoken yet. But you see it. You see this in me. You see this depth and this truth in me. Without the body, you just see the soul. Very deep love. So, of course, yeah, she's torn again, and the heart's like, here we go again, being torn. So, after her weekend of fun with Noah, yay, let's drag each other through the mud and, nostalgia. Let's just call that Noah and Allie's Mercury retrograde, okay? That's what it was. They got to talk about the past. They got to reunite, rekindle. Yes, that's their Mercury retrograde. But now Mercury's going forward. It's time to make decisions. And she has to leave Noah, and she's like, listen, I got to go. And this is kind of where you guys are at, or have been at one point. But this is where you're at. You're Noah. And you love your Allie, which could be a man, could be a woman. I don't know your side of the story. But you're just like, make up your mind. What do you want? And it's always that scene that catches me in a lot of your guys' connections when I read your tarot. And she's packing up her suitcase, and she's like, you know what? I shouldn't have come here. She starts regretting. I shouldn't have come here. Big regret. I shouldn't be here. Big regret. I shouldn't have done what I did with you. Big regret. I made a mistake. I'm a bad person. Again, judgment. Judging herself, feeling stressed out about the actions that were taken. And she feels all this guilt. And she's packing up, and she's like, I got to figure things out. And she's like, I got to go. And he's like, where are you going? Why are you going? And she's like, I got a fiance waiting for me at home. And he doesn't know where I'm at right now. And I don't know what just happened this weekend. I didn't plan it. I didn't plan any of this. I don't know what to do. And he's like, so you're going to go back to your husband now, your fiance, and honor your promise? And she's like, I met a man. I gave him my word. I gave him a promise, and I got to go back. And he's like, so don't you think your promise is shot to hell by now? Which is perfectly logical. Don't you think your heart being given to that man, your promise of loyalty, Your promise of a happy future is shot to hell by now? You spent the weekend with me, your ex, your true love. You think you can go back and everything's going to be okay? Everything's going to be all right? Life's just going to go back to normal? You know, and she's, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm going to try. And he's sitting here shocked at the betrayal. Like, I can't even believe you would come here and hurt me. Never mind my feelings. Never mind that you disrupted my life. Never mind that you came back in like a hurricane. Don't mind me. I'm going to be all right. Don't worry about my sanity or emotions. Just go back to whatever you think you're going to go back to. And he's like, you know what? You're drowning. You're drowning over there. You're not happy and you know it. And something's missing in that life and you know it. And you know what's missing? The depth. The fact that even your own family don't know you like I do. The fact that you can go over there and have all this supposed great life, and it probably is pretty great, but they're never going to love you like I do. They're never going to get you like I do. They're never going to treat you like I do. You're never going to be as seen and as heard and as loved as you are right now. That's what's missing. You know, and she's just in tears, and she's going back to the car, you know, and he's like, what do you want? She's like, I don't know. I don't know what I want. He's like, well, you need to make up your mind. It's judgment time, okay? Gavel, it's judgment time. Make up your mind. And she's like, I don't know how to make up my mind right now. I am absolutely torn between the fire relationship and the water one. What am I going to do? I need some time. I need some temperance. I need to figure this out. And he's, you know, and she's like, look at us. We're already fighting. We always fight. We're already fighting. And you want to spend a life with me? You want to spend a life with me fighting? Really? Do you really want that? She's trying to talk herself out of the relationship and stay with the fiance. And she's trying to convince him that she's not right for him. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, guess what? Surprise, that's what we do. We fight. Okay? We fight. That's what people do. They fight. And you know what? You're going to tell me when I'm being an arrogant son of a bee, and I'm going to tell you when you're being a complete pain in the rear end. Because you are. Like, so much. And he quotes 90% of the time. Daniel, quiet! I'm sorry, he's got his headphones in, and I'm very distracted here. I said, be quiet. Sorry, guys. Anyways. Where was I at? Yeah, so he's like, we fight. And we're going to fight. And that's what people do. But you know what? At the end of the day, I love you. I'm crazy about you. And you love me. And you're crazy about me. And I want to be with you. I'm not saying that love, marriage, and relationships are supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be actually really, really hard. And we're going to have to work at this. And there's a lot of years to work at this. And we're going to have to work probably every day. And we're going to mess up and we're going to make up. But that's life. And I want to do that because that's what marriage is. And I want to do that with you, Allie. And I want to do that with you every day. I want to work on myself with you. I want to work on this marriage with you. I want to be a better man and a better person for you. I want to do that. And it's worth it because I love you. I love all of you. All of it. And she starts crying because she knows it's true. She knows that's the depth that's missing in the fire connection. That love, that commitment, that water. That's a whole different energy. And she knows that's what's missing. That forever kind of love, that I love your soul, not your body, not your name kind of love. And she just starts crying, and he tells her the truth. He's like, listen, can you do something for me? Can you picture your life 20 years from now, 50 years from now? Can you picture that? Tell me something. If it's with me, great. I want that. But if it's with him, go. Picture your life. And if it's not me with you, and it's not us laughing and joking and knowing each other when we're old, and it's the other person that you envision, go. I lost you once. I'm pretty sure I can do it again. Do it now. Cut it off now. And she just cried, and she's just like, listen, I gotta go. I've got to go. She needed temperance. She needed a moment. She needed to think. She needed to get clear. She needed to get balanced. She needed to follow her heart and just see what was really going on inside of her. And when she went back home, she found out that her mother kept all the letters that he wrote her every day for a year. She had it wrapped up in a big twine, just like that I love you card, a big twine. Isn't that cute? It matches the story so well. She had all those letters wrapped up. And her mom says, let's go for a ride. I want to talk to you. Because she knew that she went to go see Noah. She showed up at the house, and it was, I missed a lot of parts of the movie, but I wanted to recap the best I could about that moment. Anyways, the mom knew what was going on. The fiance knew what was going on too, by the way. And he said, I don't want to share you. If you don't love me deeply, and it's just me, I don't want to share you. I don't want to be married for 20, 30 years, and you're always thinking about Noah. Like, I don't want that kind of marriage. If I want to be with you, I want you to be crazy about me like I am about you, and it's just us. Good guy, really. Good guy. And she knew she'd always think of Noah. Well, her mom takes her on a drive, before she gives her the letters, she shows her some guy working, I don't know, in some kind of a factory or something, outside, whatever. And he was poor and handsome and strong and beautiful as could be in her eyes. And she started crying looking at this guy when she had her in the car. And she's like, Mama, why are you crying? Like, what's going on? And she goes, I don't want you to regret. And she's like, and I want you to know that I love your daddy. Don't get me wrong. I love your father. Just like Allie would have loved that new fiance. She would have loved him for sure. Just like her mom loves her father for sure. She loves him. And that was the painting of the picture of love. She's like, don't get me wrong. We can have love. Love is easy to find. But the kind of love that you have with Noah, that's special. That's different. And she's like, that man over there, it may not look like it right now because they're way older. She's like, but there was a time where we were young and crazy in love. And he was strong and handsome and beautiful. And I was young and beautiful. And we were so in love. And she had to wipe the tears off her eyes. Which that picture painting was worth 1,000 words. And it's, as much as I love your father today and I'm grateful for you, I never stopped loving that man. And it's been 40 years. And I've never stopped loving that man. And it didn't matter how much money your father gave me. It didn't matter our beautiful mansion, my beautiful clothes, my beautiful life. It didn't matter how sweet and funny and great your father was and what a great father he was to you. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't change the fact that when you love someone that deeply, it will never go away. 44 in the room, 44 minutes, 77% battery. Don't tell me that's a coincidence. Just as I close on that statement. Anyways, where are you guys at in this story, right? Where is your love situation at in the Notebook story? Are you at the end of the road, looking back with regrets? Are you in the very beginning of this story, making, the choice to fall in love? You're crazy about this person? Or are you in the separation bit of the story? That's going to be your story, where you're at here with all of this. But I can tell you what I see from your situation. You're trying to be happy, just like Noah was trying to find support and contentment with the other woman, trying to get over Allie. You're trying to be a little bit like that. You're trying to leave your Allie behind you. Okay, because you think your Allie, aka masculine, is happy in Karmicville. Okay, and you just want to leave it alone. You feel blocked. You feel like you can't talk to this person. Maybe there's a mother-in-law blocking you, just like that story, or maybe they're the ones blocking you. Either way, there's emotional walls, there's a brick wall, there's a blockage, there's problems. Okay, you feel like you're slowly losing this person, just like Noah felt like he slowly lost Allie. You are missing and very nostalgic about what you used to share with your Allie. Okay, you can't let go completely. You probably never will. You are still so passionate today about this Allie, this man or woman, as you were the day you met them. Passion has not left the building. You love this man or woman very deeply, always will. That's your Allie. But at this moment, you're trying to break free from this because you think they've already chosen. They've already chosen, just like Allie already chose the fiance. And you're like, you know what? I lost you once. I think I can do it again. Just go. I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay. You're trying to tell yourself I'll be okay. Illumination, because you just want to do what's right for everybody. You want to do what's right for you and for him or your Allie, her, or whatever, and you're just trying, okay? And that's why your story matches so nicely with this. And you're right, Sunval. I always saw myself as Noah, and you could be a man or woman in the Noah energy. This is Noah. We had that weekend reconnected 3 years ago. He has to make the choice to come back. Yeah. And that's kind of where you're at right here, Femme Noahs. You're trying to get support and comfort elsewhere because the separation might be where you're at. Listen, I don't know how far along you are on that moment, but I can tell you based on the third-party karmic story that we read 2 days ago, which is part of this story. Your Allie's always thinking about you. And that third party knows it. They feel it. There's evidence. Your person has reached out to you. And the karmic knows it and has evidence. Just like in the movie when the fiance showed up at her hotel room. And he's like, I knew I'd find you here. He found out where she was, what she was doing. He knew more about what was going on with Allie than Allie probably thought he knew. He knew about Noah. He knew about Noah being in town probably way before she did. He knew about the newspaper article. He probably knew that she freaked out. And he knew that she went over there to go see him. Like, he knew all of that, and he just didn't know how she really felt. If she really wanted to go back to Noah or she really wanted him, and he was looking for answers. And it's very much like you. But it's very much like the third party karmic. They just want answers. Because this back and forth in the midst right now, it's not a movie. So of course the back and forth could be a lot longer than a day. In the movie, it was a day. We have to finish the movie at some point, right? So it couldn't be drug out. Your situation may be 3 years drug out. Maybe 5 years drug out. We don't know how much drug out this connection is. But the karmic just wants answers as much as you do. I think you've given peace to this. You're much like Noah, where you're like ready to let this go so your person could just be happy, and you're making peace with that. But I'm telling you the truth, your ally is missing you. Your ally knows there's no other connection as deep as you. Your ally understands the pain that you must be feeling from their choice of this third-party karmic, and your ally is sorry for turning their back on you the times that you needed them most. They're very sorry. They feel very guilty with that betrayal. The fact is, with judgment, they've got big decisions to make that affect their life permanently, and they're aware of it, and they know that there's other people involved, the third party. So right now, as this story sits today, they're not ready to go move in your big white house with blue shutters with the porch all around. They're not ready to go jump into this connection. Right now, at this place in the movie where your ally is at, is when Allie left Noah that week and when he said, "What do you want?" And she was trying to figure it out. When she was going back and forth. When she was seeking out support with answers. When her mom took her on the drive and showed her her story. When she found all those old letters and had to reread them. And had to feel his love through those letters. She read all of them. And even after she read them, her fiance had to show up and they had to have the talk. And she knew she had to break her fiance's heart or break Noah's heart. But either way, she was going to break somebody's heart. But she had to remember what Noah said, which is very freeing, very liberating. You have the break free card and the sun card. And you are willing to let your ally go. That's love. You're like, I love you. God, I love you. If that's what you want, go and be happy. And if it's not, come home and be happy. I just want you to make the decision of what you want, not what your parents want, not what your best friends think that you should do, not what your fiance wants or the third party, not what they want and what's best for them. What's best for you? What would change your life? What would bring you joy? Again, who do you see yourself with in 50 years, 20 years? Who do you see? Joking around with you, being a bunch of old farts on a rocking chair on a wraparound porch. Who do you see? Who do you see chasing around the grandkids? Because everyone's fine thinking about right now how hot you look in this outfit, how nice you look in this car, how cool you look in that situation. Everyone thinks about right now, what's really cool right now. I wish we could just get away from what's cool. I really think about our golden years, looking back at a life well spent, well loved. What did that look like? We're all going to get there. And that's the depth. That's the truth. And that's why water elements with this deepest ocean element, the water carries the past because water appreciates the past. That's why water's nostalgic and reminiscing, because it honors the past. But it's also in the now, of course. It feels very deeply and cherishes the moments. And it's just heavy and real, and you can't avoid that. So we're all, I don't know, we're all going to get there. Anyways, let's see. Your person is under pressure. Anyways, that's where they're at. They're in the moment of decision. They're in the moment of trying to figure out, is it you or is it the karmic? I think they've already figured out it's not the karmic. Now it's the detachment. Now it's the decision. Just like I'm sure that what we didn't see in the movie, what Allie probably had to do was go home and pack, which takes time, go home and explain to her parents her decision, go home and say goodbye to her fiance, take out the announcement of their marriage in the newspaper, return the wedding dress, let all her friends, all her girls that were bridesmaids and this and that, know her story, maybe have a girls' night out, whatever, like cry, drink, whatever, about the whole story with Noah and how she fell in love with him again. You know, those are the parts that we didn't get to see in the movie, but she had to go back and there were things that had to be dealt with. She had to go read those letters, make her decision, let people down, and be good and comfortable with her choice. You know? And then once all that was done, decision made, then she comes back to Noah. And she shows up in front of the big white house with blue shutters and the wraparound porch by the lake. And he's out there working on the house, building her life. That's what you should be doing. And I want to take a pause and talk about your manifestation, Noah's. Noah did not have Allie. He was without her for years. Noah had another person in his life that he cared about but didn't love deeply like her. Noah knew that his girl was out engaged to somebody else. Noah kept building that house. Noah kept building that life. With all the doors slammed in his face, with all the no's. He kept building that house, piece by piece, brick by brick, sidings by siding, white paintbrush stroke at a time. Putting up those blue shutters that she wanted. Putting up that porch wraparound that she wanted. Building their dreams. Noah kept building. His reality did not match that house. Everything in his face said lonely, rejected, not chosen, not gonna happen. Everything in his face said, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? He kept building. And I want to speak on that about your manifestations. Are you a builder? Are you building the life that you want with this Allie, man or woman, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of the no and the rejections and the separation and the isolation and the friends and the family that are saying you're obviously living a lie and pretending and living a dream and a fantasy that's not going to come true. You're wasting your time. Because I'm sure that's what he heard. You're wasting your money and your time. Why don't you just move on? He could have built a whole nother house. Whole nother house. Maybe he did not like white. Maybe he liked brick. Okay? Maybe he didn't want a huge tall house. Maybe he wanted a one-story that was wide and long and beautiful, and maybe it was a cabin. He could have had other dreams. Maybe he didn't want to be by a lake. Maybe he wanted to be in the mountains where his family grew up, in the Ozarks. No. Noah made a promise to her when it was real. And he said, I promise I'm going to build you that house. Come hell or high water, I'm going to come build you that house. It's going to be built. That contract, that commitment, that word was more than just a promise. Look, it's 12:12 a.m. Well, p.m. 55 in the room. That promise meant more than just a promise to a girl that he loved. It was him as a man, and for some of you as a woman. But that promise was him. What kind of a man is he? Is he a man of his word? Does he do what he says he's going to do, regardless? Does he keep his promises? Is he trustworthy? Is he dependable? Can you count on him? He cared more, this is that twin flame reflection, about who he was as an individual than based on life's circumstances. He said, I am who I am and who I said I am, and what I set out to do is what I'm going to do. And you can count on me and believe me and depend on me. I'm a dependable man. I'm a trustworthy man. I'm an accountable man. That's why so many women loved Noah in the movie, because he set out to do what he said he was going to do, and circumstances didn't change that. That was the rock, the masculine, the emperor, which does not waver. That is the security of a father, which is what all women look for. It doesn't have to be, it could be vice versa sexes, you know. But that's the quality that a feminine looks for. Are you going to be stable in a storm? Can I depend on you in a nightmare? Are you going to be my rock when everything else is crazy? That's what the feminine looks for, the earth, the foundation, the stability, the rock. Are you going to be that lighthouse in the storm? I need you to be solid and grounded. And you know what the masculine needs? The dream, the inspiration, the drive, the hunt. The rock needs to know that what he is building and creating and is rocky and stable for is for a good reason. Is for someone that will inspire him to paint, to build, to create. That will inspire him to become the best version of his best self. To inspire him and drive him to be the man, the rock, the masculine, the emperor that he so could be. The muse and the artist. You can't have art without the muse. And the muse has no validity for art without the artist. They need each other. So anyways, let's see what's going on with your person, because again, they're not ready. I told you they're where Allie was at the time, trying to make the decision. And, you know, when she was talking with that fiance, she was like, listen, I know I should be with you. You know, I should be with you. I should. You're great. You're good looking, you're charming, you're rich, you're sweet, you love me. I should be with you. I know you're the man I should be with. But he knew that at that moment, he wasn't the man that she chose. He knew. And it was always Noah and always will be. And when she showed up at that doorstep, letting go of something that she thought was pretty good, she had no idea she was going to get the best you could ever have. And sometimes, and I think that's the story, you have to sacrifice something that you think is pretty good. How about pretty damn good? This other situation with the third-party karmic, in our case, is not pretty good because there's a lot of lies, deception, and deceit. But that's all because your person tried to move on without letting you go. Okay? And that doesn't work. If Allie chose the third-party karmic, if Allie chose the new fiance, she would have cheated on him, obviously, because she already did, A. B, kept secrets, which she already started to create, which she did. And there would have been a big disappointment. because that fiance would have learned years on into their marriage that Allie never let Noah go. So, you know, your person kind of stepped into that mess. Your person, your Allie, kind of chose the third party karmic for a while, played this out a little bit. Okay, got the sequel to the to the alternate ending with the Notebook. Okay, your Allie kind of played that out and chose that, and now it's a mess, which is what it was going to be if you make the wrong choice. You know, and so your person is living that expression. So now your Allie knows, I'm not ready for what we have yet. And it's not time for me to reach back out and show up at your doorstep with my suitcase saying, here I am at the big white house with blue shutters. Here I am. Let's live life. Your person's not ready to live life yet. Your person is in the midst, but feeling very guilty and loving you still. Let's get some words here from your person. What's going on with your Allie? Water, I love you. Just like this. This is what's going on with your Allie. My love for you is deeper than the ocean. Okay? Water energy. I still love you. I still have big, deep emotions for you. You are my family. You are my spiritual love. And I think about us in the past all the time. Very nostalgic. I want to fix this. Just how? I'm feeling scared. This person thinks you might be angry and resentful. That's a fact. I know you're going to deal with it, Noah. But they also know that when they make the choice to go back to you, that they're going to have a very angry and resentful third-party karmic. And they know that right now what's going on at home with that third-party karmic is a lot of anger and a lot of resentment and hard feelings, fights, arguments. They're not over their drama. They're not over this. They need more time. And you know, a lot of that is, I'm not completely detached from the karmic. There's still some strings. I can't come to you with those strings. Be it a lease, be it a car, be it a job, be it a business, be it love, even in the smallest of forms. Be it sharing phone bill, phone numbers, be it sharing animals, kids, whatever. It's like, I'm still attached. Not in the way where I want to be attached, where I'm in love with the karmic and I want to go make that work. No, no, no. Don't get the wrong idea. I want to fix things with you, my Noah. I just have to figure out what to do to get out of this connection, because the new one over here, the third party karmic, is going to be angry and resentful. Okay, and I've got to get some more time. They just need more time. Bottom of the deck, I still love you, even though I'm not showing it. So you're definitely having this block, this wall up between you guys. They're keeping secrets. They're not telling you everything. There's a lot of this side of the story that you're not clear on. That's okay. But just know this, honey. Listen, Noah, listen. The grass isn't greener on the other side, and they know it. They made their choice, you know, and they're dealing with that. But there you have it. There you have it. All right, Spirit, let's go ahead and end this vibe with a twin flame oracle. Where are you at currently, love oracle, and what's to come, oracle. And what Spirit sees happening, Kali oracle, in due time. All right, let's reveal. Okay, let's reveal the love with you guys. Bye, Sun Val, I love you. Honey, it doesn't get any more clear. Follow your heart instead of your head in this situation, because this will lead you to the outcome you truly desire. Boom. Oh, thank you, Sun Val. I appreciate you. Thank you for that beautiful super chat. I love you, Sun. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Yeah, look at that, guys. Follow your heart. I mean, gosh, it came out twice. That's insane. I love synchronicities. I love them. I love them. I love them a lot. Okay, so that's the truth between love. The lesson about your love is watch out for people that don't add to your life. They are dragging you down to their level. You don't deserve this. You're worth much more. And what's this love being led to? Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. Another synchronicity and double confirmation. Rebirth. Check it out. Rebirth, which is a rekindling. Personal freedom unleashed. And you did have the breaking free. But isn't that cool? We just keep getting the synchronicities and double cards. I love it. That's what the oracles should really do in a tarot reading. They should come and clarify and confirm what was in the tarot. I love it when oracles come in and confirm. Number 77. And by the way, earlier, didn't I quote? I had 77% battery. Okay. So there's another confirmation, but let's read this. Number 49. Some of you guys may be turning 49, or 49 may be a prominent number in your life, but 49 did come up on the page, and for some reason I just wanted to mention it so it could stick out to you a little bit. So the rebirth phase of the ascension journey can be an extremely painful process. Hold on, I'm sorry. I got another message from Spirit. 49 could also be a part of your address or their address. But maybe somebody's going to see 49 lately. I don't know, that might pop up. Okay. Anyways, the rebirth phase is actually a very extremely, surprisingly painful kind of process, because you're going to be ripped away from habits that you've been used to, core beliefs that made up all of your thinking, and karmic relationships and patterns that are leaving, and they've got to go. So this process is not easy, and it's referred to by the shamans as a death, because it is the death of your old self. And just like the phoenix, you will rise up from your ashes and step into this new identity, becoming the person you were supposed to be, or you were meant to be. So letting go of control will unleash personal freedom. Trust that your heart, here's the third confirmation of leading by the heart. Trust that your heart is leading you in the direction of your destiny. Be gentle with yourself, because you being reborn into a new person is so hard. Believe in your newly discovered thoughts and abilities, however small and new and fragile they may be. Because when the rebirth card shows up in your reading, it tells you that you use this painful period of suffering to help yourself and maybe even others. And doing so is going to help you step out of your own situation and circumstance and awaken your inner flame. This is going to ignite your soul. You are going to have passion again. Making your journey through this with your person is a beautiful experience. And I just want you to see the gift in this part of a very painful quest. All right, so that's what's coming up. Yay. And The future. What is the next upcoming events? Holy Spirit, use these oracles to guide and direct me and the people that need to see this message towards the future events that are about to start taking place. Signs and all kinds of things that are going to guide us to the next step in our life. What's the next step? And I'm hearing take the first step. You don't have to know the whole picture, and you don't have to know how all of this can play out, the possibilities. You don't even need to think about how long and the timing, like when is this going to happen? Don't consume yourself with those thoughts. Spirit says just take the first step. Well, the first step is you're going to realize this is your soulmate. This is your true heartmate. This is them. You love them. It's beautiful. It's special. And just the next step is acknowledging that this is special. This is unique. You don't need to know the rest. Just acknowledge the fact that you have a soul tie with this person. And the next step to your story is path to destiny. Again, Spirit is so hilarious. He's just like, I told y'all, don't worry about how or all that other details. Just take the first step. The first step. This man or this woman, this Allie, this is part of your journey. You were meant to meet this person. You were meant to go through what you're going through with this person. You were created for this. You were meant for this. And when somebody is written in your story, they're written in your natal chart, they're written in the stars. There's no debating if they're going to be there later. They will. They are. And it is so. So mote it be. So your next step is the path to destiny. Now, the first bottom line step, the one you're in right now, what is the puddle you're sitting in? The puddle you're sitting in is being able to move on. Freedom, breaking free, the Sun card. You have to detach from an outcome. You have to detach from your soul partner, your heart mate. You have to die like the phoenix. You have to die like the butterfly to have this rebirth. You have to die. You have to let it die. You have to let that go. Keep building your white house with blue shutters and the porch all around. Keep building your life that you dreamed of with this person. But you have to let go of the attachment that they need to be there to do it. They need to be in front of me so I could take this job. They need to tell me they're with me so I can choose to live in this state or this house or this part of the neighborhood. They need to choose me now or I'm going to go on a date with this next person. They need to be right here in front of me so I can figure out if I want to purchase this car or not. They need to be right here so I can decide if I'm going to do this thing. They need to be right here with me or I'm going to have a baby with someone else. Like, that's what you have to let go of. You still have to live. And I think Spirit wants to make that very crystal clear. You still have a story. You still have choices to make. You still have everyday things to do. You still have a life. You are not on hold so Allie can make up her mind. You need to be like Noah and have that comfort, have that person with you if need be. You need to be like Noah and still go on a hunting trip, still go have another day job so you can keep building that house of your dreams. You need to be like Noah and still get up every day, shave, shower, do your hair, get dressed, build your workshop. You still have to get up and build your workshop. You still have to live your life and be who you are and express yourself. So the puddle you're in right now, before you even take the next step to realizing the truth, which is this is your person, you need to be ready and able to move on. Are you moved on? Have you done it yet? Are you capable of doing that right now? That's the journey to healing. You know, I think that's the secret. That's the secret behind Noah's strength. That's the secret behind the emperor. If Noah got depressed because Allie never wrote him back, he might have gotten killed out there in the war. He might not have ever come home. If Noah was so destroyed at the separation of their relationship, he might not have ever gone to war and served as a soldier and met his brothers out there on that battlefield and fought for his country. That was a part of his story as a veteran. That was a part of him. Noah was not just Allie's true love. Noah was Noah. And he had to be a man that he had to be. He had to be the emperor. He had to be the father to their children, the husband to her, the builder of that house. Noah had to take care of Noah. He never would have been that Noah that she depended on and loved on till the end of the story had he not experienced life on his own terms. And it's ironic because as in love with her as he was, he knew that she had to go off to college and he needed to go make something of himself in the military. Those were his options. There wasn't a lot of work options. He wanted to be better for the both of them with whatever cards Noah had dealt. He was brave enough to go ahead and let it go and move on. If it was up to Allie, she wouldn't have gone to college. She would have married him as soon as they turned 18, had a baby, lived in a shack, had a life, whatever. She would have chosen that because she loved him. Anyways, Noah had to make the call. We have to separate. We have to go. I have to go to the army. You have to go to college. We're going to take a separation. We knew this day was coming. It's part of our destiny. We're going to go through this separation. You're going to hurt. I'm going to hurt. We're going to face trials. That's love. And if you and I are meant to be together for the rest of our lives, then destiny is going to bring our paths back together. And I have faith in that. And I have faith that no matter what I choose to do, it will always lead me back to you. I have faith that if I can move on from wanting everything so badly and attaching so much, that if I can let go of that and move on, I have faith that you're going to pop back up in my life. And that's what this reading is calling you guys to do. Have faith. Keep building. Keep building. Anyways, that's the secret. That's the secret of life. It's not just hanging on, it's letting go. Letting go is what keeps you guys moving forward on your path of destiny. And Spirit, what do you see in this couple? What do you see happening? Show us the transformation, the rebirth. Show us that. Can you please show us the rebirth? What does that look like? Well, Kama of Kali and Kamala Devi. They're both beautiful. They both have Kama in it, which is very cool. You know, a lot of these Kali cards have a lot of death. Cut tongues, cut heads, you know, Kali the demon, the ugly version of Kali, you know, the one that devours. Ironically, both the card coming out and at the bottom, it's both beautiful. So the essence of your relationship is beautiful. The essence of your connection is easy on the eyes and feels very warm and inviting. But I'm sure there's a fierce side to this. But what's coming up for you guys in the rebirth is the beautiful part. And I think why this is coming out, because it's telling you you've been through the ugly part. And take that in. You just got through the worst of your connection. The arguments, the separation, the isolation, the loneliness, the unsureness, the third-party drama, the anger, the resentment. You just got through the worst, the absolute worst of your connection. So the rebirth is not ugly. It's not super painful. It's not a suffering. It's not a longer separation. It's not anything toxic and harmful and burning. The rebirth of your relationship is going to be beautiful. It's going to be gentle. It's going to be kind. It's going to be pretty. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be romantic. And it's just going to be good. It's going to be beautiful. And that's what you guys are having in the rebirth of your love connection. So let's read that. I think it's spectacular. So we witness her beauty and her struggle, but it all melts into grace. The heart softens into a protection and radiates peace. Hi, Carol. Glad to have you back. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless laws of attraction. She is the golden pathway. Oh my gosh, and you have the path, and it's golden. I told you the oracles love to confirm what the reading says. So she is the golden pathway to a divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your guys' hearts to receive with the same energy and openness and grace that you express. All the love you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. And the biggest message I have today for you with this oracle is, you get what you give out. And I do mean literally in your relationship. If you give patience, you're going to have patience. If you give extreme love, you're going to get extreme love, because this is the payback. This is the Six of Pentacles. It's the karma that's coming to you, and it is the harvest of the seeds that you've sown in this relationship. I want you to sit for a second, please, and think about the seeds that you've sown in your connection with this person, because you're about to receive a mirror reflection of it. That's not going to be good news, to be honest, for someone that has a bunch of FUs, middle fingers, birds. I don't give an F attitudes. It's over and done. You're an a-hole attitude. You're just a real piece of slimy POS attitude. I'm saying if that's been you, I'm sorry to say, what are you going to get now? You're not going to get that happy end of the story. I can promise you. Like, it's just not going to happen because those are the seeds that you chose to sow. You didn't have to sow them. Nobody forced you to sow them. You did. You had a choice. Choose love, choose hate, choose peace, or choose bitterness and resentment. Choose forgiveness, or choose a grudge. So keep that in mind for the results that are about to be bestowed upon you. If you want to change the next part of harvest in your journey, and that's been you, you've been on the negative, start being on the positive. Change it up right now. Maybe it's not too late. Now, if you have been giving love, choosing love above all else, you're going to get love back. If you've been choosing forgiveness, you're going to be apologized to. If you have chosen to keep building your house, even amidst the evidence that doesn't seem real, you're going to have your person moving in. They're coming up there with their suitcase. It's time to crack the bottle of champagne with your manifestation. If you've been manifesting this love throughout the trials and tribulations of your difficult journey, you're about to pop a bottle and celebrate the reunion and the rekindling of your love. If you remember, good things take time. If you spent years, just like Noah did, years, putting into a relationship that did not put out, you're about to get long-term commitment. This is not a BS message. This is not a karmic message. This is a spiritual, magical message. Does it sound like magic? It is. And does it sound like a miracle? This is a miracle message. Does it sound divine? Yeah, it should, because it is. See, the people that are like, this is ridiculous, they're not divine. They're not ready. They're not there. To the people that think this is not reality, that's because their reality isn't anything divine. Their reality has nothing to do with magic. You see? This is the life that you create, the belief that you have. Anyways, everyone has a garden, and weeds are going to grow in your garden. Lots of weeds. And the more you water your garden to get those lush, fertile flowers, the more weeds are going to pop up. It is the diligent that keep pruning and pulling the weeds. For those that have a garden and they just let it pour and rain and water, and they think that the weeds will disappear on its own, the universe will somehow just give the perfect amount of water for the flowers, but not the weeds. They're sadly mistaken, and when they go to visit their garden, it's going to be full of weeds, negative thoughts, negative experiences, toxic situations, because they are watering love, true. They are watering their rose bushes. They are watering their daisies and their poppies and their beautiful flowers and their marigolds and their irises. They're watering them. They're giving their lover love, but they're never pulling out the weeds of doubt, the weeds of disappointment, the weeds of hate, the weeds of bitterness, the weeds of jealousy, the weeds of impatience, the weeds of pride. For those of you that are pulling out your weeds daily, your garden will be the most beautiful of all the gardens. For those that don't pull out weeds, their garden's not going to be complete trash. They're still going to have roses. They're still going to have irises. But they're going to have a garden full of weeds, aren't they? They're going to have a lot of bad experiences. For those of you that say, come visit my garden, it's beautiful, and they're like, wow, you're so lucky. You're just blessed. You're just lucky. Your garden has no weeds. You must have been given the easy route. Your cards must have been so easy. God, you're lucky. Your garden doesn't have weeds like mine. You're just lucky. Your soil must have been different than mine. I must have had bad soil. My garden got more sun than yours. It fried it. You know, my garden was unfortunately situated in a bad part of the area. Those are the people that get upset with their life and say, God, I'm dealt with bad cards. I'm unlucky in love. All the other people that have all these good things happening to them, they're lucky. They've been blessed. They have a whole different lifestyle than my own, and they don't have any problems. And if they did have problems, they had nowhere near the amount of problems I had, or nowhere near as difficult as the problems I had. And I have one thing to say about those gardens. If you wait till your weeds are as tall as you, their roots are just as deep. And it is hard to pull out those tall weeds because they've gotten out of control. And when you have a garden full of tall, deeply rooted weeds, and there's a vast majority of them, you've got your work cut out for you. And you're going to sweat, and you're going to bleed, and you're going to be tired fixing your life, pulling out all your weeds, trying to drain out the vast amount of negative thoughts, the habits, and the beliefs that have taken root in your life. You're right. Your life is more difficult than most because you've let it get out of hand. It's out of hand. And you're going to hurt and suffer getting rid of all those weeds. But here's the trick. Your weeds are no different than their weeds. They just pulled them out sooner. They pulled their weeds when they were small and not rooted deeply at all. All they had to do was pinch 2 fingers together and pull. Because all their love and all their faith and belief was the water that made the soil soft, palatable, whatever. And their soil was soft and nutritious. And when the weeds started to come and form up like they do in anybody's life, they took care of it right away. As soon as they had a negative thought, boom, they meditated. As soon as they had a negative vision about their relationship with their life, boom, they fixed it with a positive one. As soon as somebody said something negative to them about their life, they left. And they didn't continue to talk to that person anymore. See, they plucked out those weeds when they were tiny and little and not deeply rooted. They didn't listen to other people. They didn't get easily distracted or discouraged. They didn't get angry or bitter. They just kept building. They kept pulling the weeds, and they had just as many weeds as anybody else, but they just kept pulling it, dealing with it as they popped up. Every time a situation happened, boom, they took care of it and nipped it in the butt. That's responsible. And that's why their garden is beautiful. So the next time you want to point fingers at someone and say they had it easy, they're blessed, they're lucky, they have a whole different life than me. No, they made different choices. They meditated, you dwelled. They loved, you hated. They forgave, you got bitter. They moved on, you stayed stuck. You see the difference? Don't point, just pull the weeds. So this card says she holds the wealth-generating life force. Wealth can come in so many forms: peace, prosperity, financial abundance, and extreme health, and even wealth in love. She talks about not constantly oversharing your deepest beliefs or leaking out your beautiful energy to those that would suck it up like a vampire. She teaches you the loving art of self-valuing and cherishing what's precious to you and not casting those pearls to swine. Don't cast out your ideas and your dreams about your big white house with blue shutters and a porch all around to have a bunch of friends and family say that that's stupid and you shouldn't do it because she's not here. You see the difference? Keep it to yourself. Go to your shed and build alone. You don't need to have a bunch of high fives and pats on the back. This is not selfishness or foolish isolation. It's self-care, self-respect. And when we care for ourselves and we show respect for who we are and what we want to offer, and we keep it special and treasured without being affected by the toxicity outside, that respect is an energetic broadcast on a huge tower of manifestation that repels the lower energies that wish to destroy your dreams and your relationship. Kamala is the tantric emanation of Lakshmi, awakening this deep spiritual understanding of the law of attraction and nature and material prosperity and spiritual enlightenment and the magic and the power in manifestation. Kamala provides many beautiful gifts in such a way that you learn and grow through all these blessings. She is the glass half full. Tantra exists outside conventional religious practices and social mores. We cannot access the true and sacred knowledge of our oneself when bound by the opinions of mass culture and friends and family that do not truly matter in the great scheme of our life. We cannot find our authentic being within such constraints. We don't live in a box. We live in a magical world. We cannot find the truth if we lack wisdom, if we want to be societally conditioned. Because societal conditioning lacks the wisdom and the generosity and the freedom and the spaciousness that manifestation and magic thrive with. That is the water that grows your garden. That can only happen outside the constraints of society. And this is why enlightened mystics in every single religious tradition, and there's always a handful, have always come into conflict with traditional teachers, traditional figureheads in their religion or beliefs, even in astrology. Whenever you step outside of the bubble of tradition in Vedic astrology, or tradition in Western astrology, or tradition in the land of tarot, or anything esoteric, oh, but there's tradition. We have to step outside of tradition and be that mystic, the real one that listens to the spiritual voice, not society. The Divine Mother protects the path, here we are with the path again, to fulfillment. And even when authority, bureaucracy, and friends and family that in the face of love try to stifle your truth because it's not real in their eyes. Be direct with your intentions and your desires. You are in a relationship with spirit, more so than anything else and anyone else. You have a willingness to see things another way. So don't lock horns in direct conflict, 5 of Swords in your life, with other people who are always going to lead you towards failure, not the outcome that you wish. Kamala Devi brings you gifts of abundance at every level. The gift of wisdom, the gift of spiritual security, cultivated, fearless, the gift of love, and the gift of wealth. She is the lotus flower, the signifier of wealth. Wow, and there's the lotus. Oh my gosh, I just realized that, right? Lotus, lotus. She is the lotus flower. Oh my gosh. She is known as the sattvic, or peaceful, and carries the energy of Mother Mary, Mother Magdalene, and a planetary sister to Earth, Venus. These beings manifest gentle yet effective, enlightened feminine energy to benefit all. Their vibration is this vibration, and it is not common on our planet, yet it bears often a resemblance to the universe because it's a gift. They have a mutual love of beauty and respect for nature. This is the duality of spirituality and the universe and outer space, and the reality of the 3D world, planet Earth. The feminine represents magic, mysticism, manifestation, mother. Femininity is very spiritual and not grounded. It's in the air. The masculine energy is grounded. It's concrete. It's the earth. It's physical. It's reality. It's what's seen, touched, and felt and heard. It's very sensory driven. Putting them together creates the most beautiful planet. One without the other would be fruitless. You need the duality of the masculine and the feminine to create this beautiful, lush garden called Earth. So Kamala is particularly active within the hearts of those who naturally feel that there is a universal truth that cannot be described or constrained by any single path or opinion, tradition, or otherwise. These are the freedom-loving souls that believe live and let live, and that what is meant to be will be, and that magic happens and miracles happen because anything's possible. They are non-dimensional. They are multidimensional. They don't wish to convert, to control, but to share their knowledge and wisdom from the heart because they have found such comfort in knowing this truth. When you receive with such generosity, you want to share the wealth, do you not? When you win $100 million, do you want to go off in a corner alone and covet your wealth? Or do you start to spread the wealth as if you're sprinkling seeds? You're so happy that you're overflowing with money, that you're giving to the poor, that you're paying for family to have comfort and prosperity, that you're investing in businesses, growing jobs, that you're creating children because now you have a life to provide well for them, that you're blessing others to help their dreams come true, thus sprinkling and spreading the beauty of manifestation and magic and wealth all over the place. Money can be a beautiful thing, or it can be toxic. It is up to you. And that's a beautiful wealth. When you're so full of love and you're absorbed in love, you are a sponge of love. You don't just covet your love to yourself and hide in a corner. No, you're out there squeezing your love out on everybody else. You're hugging and kissing neighbors. You're being friendly to children and animals alike. You're being friendly wherever you go, whatever you purchase, whatever you buy, whoever you see. You're spreading love. You're giving smiles. That's the generosity that Lakshmi and this card in Kamala Devi talk about. We want to bless you with wealth so you can bless others. It's not meant to be held by just you. People have such a toxic relationship with money, it's disgusting. They believe money is evil and it is wrong, and they're very judgmental. And they thrive on bragging at how broke they are and how in lack and in poverty they are. They brag about having little to nothing and how that is the beauty. Even monks do this. They have such a poverty mentality with wealth, they're not able to share it. And the only thing they do share is negative views on money, negative views on wealth and prosperity, negative views on others that get to enjoy this earth and the pleasures from it, negative views. Think of how toxic that is. It's like being next to a luscious waterfall in Hawaii, and God bless them right now, and our prayers are with them. But sitting on the shore and saying, don't go in that water. There's bugs. There could be diseases in there. There could be snakes. You could cut your foot on a rock. Don't go in that water. That's terrible. Everyone should stay out of that water. And what are they doing? They're being toxic. And although they may be protecting themselves, they're rubbing their negativity off on others so that they don't get to enjoy the abundance of the warmth of the water, the beauty of the waterfall, the healing energy of the waterfall, the memories that they can make in that waterfall. See, watch our toxicities about what we think is good and see how that control can affect others in a very negative way, and change your point of view if you have a toxic one with money. It is not toxic. Fire is beautiful, but when out of control, it is not, obviously. Water is beautiful, but it's not when you're drowning. Money is wonderful when you're not being selfish or coveting. Lakshmi blesses those that share, curses those that don't. Okay, so rise above your situations and shine your beautiful, peaceful light. So that's the message about what's coming up for you guys in the connection. We'll read the last little bit of 38, and I think we're done. The next part of your love journey is beautiful. So for Kama Kali, she is completely and utterly in love with your divine essence, and in her love bestows endless gifts. You and your honey bunny, your path need not be one of endless effort, always going, doing, but connecting with pleasure as a path of personal empowerment, receiving gifts and benefit. For every seed sown, there is the harvest. To the collective, through softening and opening your heart, is an act of worshiping the divine feminine and Lakshmi and Kali Devi. Relax into the presence of what is as you allow your pace and make swifter progress. In the throes of profound challenge and transformation, we have a great knowledge. We can feel disconnected from our joyfulness. It's as though we are akin to bright days of summer and we are midwinter wondering how it was ever going to come back. Anything when we now feel the need to cover ourselves with abundant protective layers is to be expected with intense suffering. When dealing with an issue that has given you a great deal of grief and anger, especially. Yet, if we allow our minds to remain open to the knowing that summer will come again, and so will joyfulness and pleasure, then you can find your way through this like the sun breaking through the clouds, bringing you great comfort. This oracle is here to indicate not only more pleasurable ways of being is going to be a part of your future, but also as an offering of pleasure right now. Even if you are struggling, cease the strain that you create by making everything feel worse. Look forward to the beauty that's coming. Accessing pleasure requires embodiment, a connection with your senses, the smells, the feels, the sights, the sounds. Through these things, it will be easier for you to start manifesting and receiving healing. And it can help uplift you, like the scent of aromatherapy, or the warmth of a shower, or the gratitude for a safe and comfortable place to sleep, or the sumptuousness of warm clothes or a satisfying meal, or the delight of a playful silliness with your animals or your kids and their nutty sense of humor. The simple appreciation today allows the flow to come through you and manifest more. The seed does not yet know what it's going to be, but yet it grows. even while in the dark. If we have a complicated or confused attitude towards pleasure, money, or joy, the natural need for it can be denied, repressed. You may need sun, but if you're angry with it, it will not come. You may need money, but it won't show up because you're angry and in desperate need, and that's not giving you the joyful feeling of it showing up, so it will not. You may feel alone and isolated and rejected and bitter, and you need the warm hug of your lover. You need the kiss and the touch and their tender words, but it will not come because you are so angry or hurt or sad or upset and in this abundance of the Five of Cups energy. And they will not come as much as you need them. We have confused ourselves and complicated ourselves into believing the more we cry, the more we beg, the more pitiful we are, the more pathetic we may seem, the more in desperate, dire need, the universe will answer and we'll be blessed. Our prayers will be heard. Our suffering will not go unnoticed. We are programmed and indoctrined through religions, and even as small children, believing that the more we cry, the more in pain we are, the more help will come. But as grown spiritual empresses and emperors, you realize that's not going to happen, and that that's not the answer, and it only repels everything that you want. This oracle speaks of a gift entering into your life in the form of the goddess. It's an invitation to relax and receive. Sometimes we may unconsciously attribute divine will with the intentions to demand more and more of us. Maybe if I try harder, maybe if I sweat more, maybe if I cry more, maybe if I go through the suffering, then it will all be worth it. Sometimes you don't even have to try. Like pinching those weeds with 2 fingers, boop, and they're out. You don't even have to try. Yet divine will has your best interest at heart. Even when they're causing you to suffer, even when you're causing your own self to suffer, rather, it has a purpose. Because eventually, you're going to get sick of suffering. And hopefully, you'll be ready to learn. When we all need to develop strength, it will certainly provide the experience necessary for us to be strong, which is a stressor. But it also provides sweetness and pleasure in the end results. This oracle speaks of a need to embrace pleasure for once or maybe for the first time, or to get back into embracing the pleasure of the gifts of this world, the gifts of the goddess, the gifts of Lakshmi. This is not an indulgence. It can actually help you make progress on your stuck spiritual path. To be able to embrace joy is a gift. To be able to receive is not lucky. It is thoughtfully planned out. It provides you with relief and release when the path has been truly difficult. It is the summer of the soul's winter. To grow, you need both to survive. The winter and the summer is what it means. The Kali of Kama is a message that we should not discard our need for pleasure. So much so, of what society promotes as pleasure is little more than disembodied escapism. This creates further judgment of suffering rather than actually healing and pleasure. Example, a massage. People will talk so much crap about someone getting a massage. Well, they're rich. They're richy rich, they're posh, they're prissy. Look at them going out and getting a massage. Wish I could afford a massage. Not all of us can afford a massage. Look at that person, they must have the life of luxury. They don't see that person going to work that night, 12 hours, working a shift like hell, needing that massage just to keep going, to feel good about life, to know that life is not all misery, but it also feels amazing and it's worth it. See, we're so quick to judge, aren't we? So quick. Not knowing that could be a nurse or a surgeon working for 24 hours on their feet. Not seeing that that person going in for a massage could be a single mom that was at her wit's end, possibly suicidal, overwhelmed, overstimulated, and a grouch and rude and cruel to her children because she couldn't get herself together and felt like she was a failure and a rejected, no good, wanted piece of crap on this earth. That she goes in for a massage to find herself again, to find her worth, to feel peaceful, to feel beautiful, to feel good. So, Kali says these are not toxic pleasures or indulgences, and they're not just for the rich. These are pleasurable things that you should do to be receiving joy. Because when you start feeling that, obviously you're going to attract more. Being bitter and PO'd off and pointing fingers in judgment about how crappy your life is, and that's not going to get you anything, and I think you know that by now. So, this teaching is not about becoming hedonistic or pursuing pleasure at any cost. Without wisdom or benefit, instead, this oracle asks you to engage with pleasure as an act of worship to your inner goddess and to the goddess out without. When the divine worship is genuine and it doesn't add to the suffering of your world or others, it aids in relief. To understand this, you need to give up the notion of pleasure as selfish, or pleasure as only for the rich, or carefree, and begin to associate pleasure with a sacred energy. This oracle brings comfort and speaks of the forthcoming of grace and pleasure in your life, and your capacity to be honest, that it's okay to have blissful divine pleasure. So I hope you guys took something from this video today. And this message was bomb. I hope you guys can go find some pleasure and not feel guilty about it. And not think I'm indulging, I'm lazy, I'm blah, blah, blah. Don't judge yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Stop thinking negative thoughts. Pull those weeds out of your brain right now and create your garden. Go get some pleasure. Pleasure, 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 pleasure. Go get some. In moderation, of course, I don't have to tell you that, you're an adult. But just some people come on and like, what do you mean pleasure? That could be toxic. Listen, they're not ready for that message. They're not ready for this message. Anyone who says that, they're not ready for this message. But you get it. You get it. And I just want you to know that your love life doesn't have to be all hard. It doesn't need to be miserable, terrible, suffering. And the truth is, and I'm going to share with you, it's not. It's not always miserable. It's not always suffering. It's not always hard. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It really is. We make things hard. But if we just take the ups with the downs, the dark days with the light days, and the winters with the springs, we're going to be okay. And I just want you to know, if you've been watching this video today, and Leo was a very strong zodiac sign for you, Leo and water element, we'll just say Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancerian today, if you really resonate heavily with those energies. And this video really spoke about your life, and the story of Noah and Ali in the notebook really touched you, and it felt like you could resonate with that story in some way, then this is for you. And remember the parable and the story of the garden, pulling out the weeds. Don't worry about other people's gardens and how weedless they may be or how full of weeds they may be. Focus on your garden. Keep pulling out every little weed that wants to break way through the soil. It's going to be much easier if you don't let it get out of control. Catch yourself when you're being negative to you or anyone else. Catch yourself when you're doing anything but building that white house with the blue shutters and the porch all the way around. Catch yourself. Keep building the life you want regardless of your circumstance. Because according to the cards, a great deal of pleasure is about to arrive in your life. A moment of harvest. A time of joy. I hope you get to enjoy it. So cheers to you and your love life. It looks like it's going to be beautiful right now, at least. And I love you guys. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination, so you just keep swimming. Hope I didn't offend anyone too much on this video. I hope you like my video as well. Please help me out. Give me some likes. I know no one understands how important likes are for YouTubers. Like, I never understood it till I became one. But these things called algorithms, these things that are promoted, these videos that are pushed to the public, these people that have more followers, they're the ones that get all the comments. They're the ones that get the likes and the shares. They're the ones that get 100 new subscribers a day or more. Those are the ones that are keeping up with being promoted and being seen, and their message is going out. And if you think today's message was good and it's worthy and more people need to hear this message, and there's people out there that need this hope, there's people out there that need to hear these things, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Support these messages. Support people that need them. And if you find it in your heart to be more abundant and contribute to this earth and to people that need to hear these things, and to help me keep promoting them and bringing them, then please deposit any kind of thank you. I have a Cash App as a donation. If you find it in your heart to reach out and say thank you, or you're just a big giver, that's available in the description. If you want to take it a step further and be a part of this mission to awaken others, to help others, and to help yourself, and to better your life and your love journey, and you want to grow and learn and do more for yourself, please go to my website. I have personal readings there. You can order one. I've got tarot cards and oracles. I've got natal chart readings and compatibilities. I've got classes to teach astrology and tarot. And I have subscriptions that are very appreciated. Those are for people that want to contribute to me and this channel and this mission at JKS. These are for people that want these things to be spread to more people across the world. For $33.33 a month, you can pay for it by yourself, knowing that you're going to get 2 readings a month, one 11/11 card on the 11th of the month, and one Celtic Cross reading on the 22nd of every month, which pays for itself. So you're going to pay for your own readings, but you're also going to contribute to me and help me continue this mission. And you're also going to get bonus material, bonus videos, bonus advice, just lots of freebies. You're going to be able to feel like you're having some guidance finally. And if you want to be a top contributor and you want to give big because you want to receive big, this is the best one. This is the ultimate monthly subscription. It's $122 a month, and it gets you 50% off of an emergency reading once a month. It gets you the $22 Celtic Cross reading. It gets you the 11/11 card. It also gets you a $44 reading once a month, which pays well in for itself, all in for itself. But you also get a free reading every month in addition that I can send to you privately, or you can give away, but another free reading as well. And it's just a great blessing. And if you can contribute to that, I'd be happy to throw in a class of your choosing. You can do the tarot class or the astrology class, 101, but I can throw in a class if you want to choose to be a subscriber this month as an ultimate subscriber monthly. And I'm also having a big announcement here that most people know, but maybe not you. I am going to be giving away a couple of my tarot decks. These are my own personal tarot version of tarot for me. It's very telling. Each story is seen in each card. It's very descriptive. A lot of ideas and thoughts will come to you subconsciously with these cards, as well as the obvious pictures, but they're meant to speak to you in a subconscious way. So if you're interested in possibly winning one of these for free, being an ultimate subscriber will give you a chance to do that. I'm going to be giving more than one away, so you've got a good chance over there. If you can't do any of that, maybe you just want to purchase something in support, I understand. These are for sale by themselves on my website. Okay, so they are for sale if you're interested on that, as well as my other oracle cards. This is one of my favorites. I am coming up with a new deck, maybe a couple new decks for cheaper, and those are going to be available soon. And you're going to be surprised to see what my creative processing brought me to do cards that are unique and different and not really what's out there. What I notice is out there right now is just a lot of general photos talking about the same titles. You know, I wish I could talk about how I feel, but I can't. Rejection. Just a lot of inner journey stuff. Like all these cards have the same message, different pictures. Lust bound, lusty, wanting, you know, I want to do something different. I want to do something more spiritual. So I'm going to be doing a different take on cards that I think is different than anything else that's out there. And I want to do kind of a rendition on Vedic astrology and the nakshatras and how they would relate. I want to do something about someone's journey and how it's affecting them and who they are at their essence. I want to do cards that speak about truth that's even hard to hear but needs to be accepted and known. I would like to do cards that just have a deeper meaning than just the basics. So I'm going to be doing a whole new idea on how those decks come out. And I think I might do 2 of them. So keep an eye out when that's going to be here. Stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll be keeping you guys updated. Now's not the time. Really? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, I love you guys very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. My heart is with you on this journey. You're doing a good job. And I really hope that the abundance you're going to be getting is good and positive. I know a lot of you guys have been sowing good seeds. And I just want you to know, if you're a person that's been listening to me for a long time and you're hurting and you're really suffering and it's been a long time and you've been really going through it, this is a message today. Believe in miracles. Keep building your white house with blue shutters on the porch. And that your wishes are going to come true, that your abundance is going to happen, that your love is going to waltz back into your life, because it's magic, and because magic is powerful, because you're powerful, and because what you've been through is not all for nothing. What you've been through was tilling the soil and making it so fertile for the abundance that's about to take root in your life. And the garden that is your existence is going to be stunning. Thank you so much for watching me, guys. I love you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Oh, look, 1:33 minutes and 33 people in the room. Just as we're leaving. All right, good luck, guys. I love you, and I'll see you later tomorrow. Bye-bye. Yeah, and Danny's bringing the Dalek. There you go.